Hello and welcome to my review of the Eyestinger swarms from the Gellerpox Infected faction. You can use these little models in Warhammer 40,000, hence why I'm doing this review. You'll find their rules in the Codex Gellerpox Infected that comes with the box set. What I'll do is I'll look at the models individually, as I always do, go through some size comparisons with a selection of models, and then I'll go through their 40k 8th edition rules. So the Eyestinger swarms, they're dirty-bodied flies that buzz from the corpses of chaos-infected cadavers and are often imbued with a tiny portion of warp energy. Amongst the most feared warp parasites, for they attack their victims' faces, knowing that to blind and terrify their prey is to ensure a far easier meal. Ugh, horrible. Anyway, you've got a selection of them here. Here's one of them that's grown really big and fat. You've got maggots all over the back of it. Maybe he's just been laying down and he's stretched out and he's, you know, still attached by this mucus type pus stuff. I don't know, but horrible little creature thing. This big blot fly, I want to call it. Then you've got a load of these Eyestinger swarms. These are what look to be jumping off or flying off from a Voidsman helmet. If we just look at a Voidsman there, it's the same kind of helmet going on. So they're coming from a Voidsman corpse, probably. So they've just eaten him. And then you've got these, which are slightly bigger. There's 4 of these. So they're about to sort of grow into something like that, maybe. But I do like the way that Games Workshop have made these flies with the base, you know, and attached to each wing. It's really cool. And then finally, we've got the smallest ones here, which have completely ridden this body. There's still some maggots and things. I don't know whether you get maggots and things on a skeleton now. You know, the flesh is long since gone. Maggots usually disappear, you know, way before that. But you've got all these flies bursting from a body sort of thing. You've got some detail on the underside as well. But there you go. I think these flies would look great near Typhus. He is the Lord of Flies after all, and they'd also look pretty good near a load of Poxwalkers to kind of represent this big swarm that follows them and that gives them that excellent ability. Anyway, they're the little models. Let me just show you some size comparisons. So compared to the other smaller models in the set, so here's a Glitchling. It's difficult to do a size comparison because they're all, each one of these models has different size proportions, but compared to the swarm, the Glitchling is a little bit taller. But yeah, compared to like this Eyestinger, Eystinger's bigger, you see. So that's why it's difficult to do these kind of things. But next to the Curse Mites, again, Curse Mite is bigger. I'll probably say the Curse Mites are bigger than all of these in their different stages, different leaping, but they're all very similar, these Curse Mites. And then you've got the Sludge Grubs as well. So compared to the Sludge Grubs, they're probably, I want to say, the smallest, like height wise. Yeah, probably Sludge Grubs are the smallest. So there you go. That's just a size comparison with all the smaller entities. Compared to the Vox Shamblers, here's one here. Vox Shambler is taller than all of them, quite clearly. Next to Vulgrar, one of the Hull Breakers. Yeah, none of them go up taller than him. And then next to the aforementioned Poxwalkers, see, they go quite well. If you have these flies, you know, in amongst some Poxwalkers, I think that would really help the narrative, and even near some Plague Marines too. Just as scenery, if you wanted to have them as scenery around and not actually use them as a unit, I think they'd work quite well. Even a board, if you've got a couple of packs of these, or if you've got these flies separately, that would look quite good around some swamps. So there are terrain potentials with these minis. Compared to the other models in the set, the Imperial models, we've got Elucia Vane, Aximilian and the Voidsman at Arms. Elucia Vane is taller than all of these flies, but Aximilian, bless him, he's completely swamped by all of them, and the Voidsman to some extent too. Finally, compared to some Imperial models that you're probably familiar with, Space Marine and an Intercessor. Intercessor's taller than those flies, but I think, yeah, both of them are taller than all of these fly offerings. And there you have it. What I'll do now is just go through all of the 40k 8th edition rules for them. So there are fast attack choice, a power points cost of a 1, and a points cost of 3 per model. So you're looking at 12 points there for all of those 4. What do you get for these points? Well, you do get the fastest models in this faction. Their movement of 10 inches, so they're going to be shooting across the battlefield. Their weapon skill is 4+, which again is pretty decent actually. Same weapon skill as even the Venom Crawler, which is a demon engine. Strength of 2, toughness is 2, wounds 1, attacks D3. That's interesting. Would have liked to have had D6 attacks though. Leadership 8, which is phenomenal. It means that these little flies have a better leadership than the Hullbreakers, the Glitchlings and the Vox-Shamblers. So very, very strange, but maybe that's to mirror the kind of swarm-like nature, because the Curse Mites and the Sludge Grubs also have a leadership of 8. And then a save of 7+. Yeah, probably the worst save in the history of Warhammer 40,000, a 7+ save. This unit contains 4 Eyestinger swarms. Each attacks with its spawning barb. Only one of this unit can be included in your army. So the spawning barb, it's a melee weapon, strength of the user, which unfortunately is only 2. Its AP is nothing, its damage is 1. Each unmodified hit roll of 6 made for this weapon automatically results in a wound. Do not make a wound roll for that attack. Now that's the key there. So you've got D3 attacks, so let's just say you're really lucky and you get 3 each. So you've got 12 attacks there of 4+, which is decent, but say you get a few 6s out of those 12 attacks, you don't need to roll to wound because you'll get those automatic wounds. And if you do have to wound, yes, unfortunately it's going to be strength 2. Still going to do some damage against units that have a toughness of 3 though. So abilities, Vulgrar's followers, that just means if you've got Vulgrar, you're going to have to deploy them at the same time as him. Mutoid Vermin. This unit does not take up a slot in a detachment that includes Vulgrar Thrice Cursed. Brilliant. That's also what Curse Mites and the Sludge Grubs have as well. So you get Vulgrar, you're getting all these, they don't take up that slot. Buzzing Swarm. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target this unit. Fantastic, they're going to need it with a save of 7+. And then Hatchlings. Add 1 slain model to this unit at the start of every turn. That's fantastic. Say the first turn the enemy wipes out 3, the next turn you're going to have 2, and so on and so on. So they've got an ability to regenerate and they don't need to roll anything for that. Their keywords: Chaos, Gellerpox Infected, Nurgle, Swarm, Fly, Mutoid Vermin, Eyestinger Swarms. So there you go. That is all I want to say about the Eyestinger Swarms. In summary, I think they're cool little models. I like how they haven't just done this, like replicated 4 times. I like that they've got that creativity to just show the Eyestinger Swarms in various stages of their development. I think they're really good narrative play, and you've got some terrain making potential there, even if you don't want to use them in game. But if you do choose to use them in game, they can be a bit nasty because of their movement speed of 10 inches and potential of having a lot of attacks that could just result in automatic wounds. But again, like everything else, you want to be shooting these pretty quickly. Again, like the Curse Mites and the Sludge Grubs, you just want to try and pick them off as quick as possible. They're very squishy with their toughness of 2s, hardly any wounds, and they don't have their invulnerable saves. What do you guys think of the models? What do you guys think of the rules? It'd be great to hear from you. Please do put it in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Papa bless.